Christopher Steele. Orbis welcomes High Court victory over Trump. A British consultancy that compiled a salacious dossier linking Donald Trump to Russia has welcomed a UK High Court decision to throw out a lawsuit by the former US president. Orbis Business Intelligence, run by ex-MI6 officer Christopher Steele, said it was delighted by the ruling. Mr. Trump had been seeking to use data protection laws to sue the company. Mr. Steele's dossier contained unsubstantiated claims of bribery and sex parties. Funded by Hillary Clinton's Democrats and other political opponents of Mr. Trump, the dossier was leaked to the media just before Mr. Trump, a Republican, was sworn in as president. In bringing the lawsuit against Orbis Business Intelligence Limited, Mr. Trump's legal team said the dossier contained claims that were inaccurate and breached his data protection rights. In Thursday's ruling in London, Mrs. Justice Stein DBE said she did not make any judgment on the allegations themselves. But she found Mr. Trump's claim had not been brought within the 6-year limitation period. There are no compelling reasons to allow the claim to proceed to trial, she wrote. Orbis said the lawsuit should never have been brought. Mr. Trump has already been criticized by U.S. courts for pursuing vexatious litigation against us, said its statement. And we feel strongly that Mr. Trump also brought this claim in an attempt to exact revenge on Orbis and to chill free speech and legitimate investigations. Orbis stands by its sources and work and will not be deflected by such lawfare practices. Another lawsuit that Mr. Trump filed against Orbis, Mrs. Clinton and FBI officials was dismissed by a federal judge in Florida in 2022. Mr. Steele has previously said the dossier was a series of memos based on intelligence and never meant for publication. The case stems from 2016, when a U.S. political consultancy asked Mr. Steele's company to produce a report into potential Russian interference in that year's U.S. general election. Mr. Steele, the former head of MI6's Russia desk, sent his findings to the FBI, a British national security officer and an aide to a senior U.S. senator. The dossier, later obtained and published by BuzzFeed News, detailed uncorroborated intelligence claims that Mr. Trump had a compromising relationship with the Kremlin. The former president said in his witness statement when he brought the case last year that none of these things in the Steele dossier ever happened. I can confirm that I did not, at any time, engage in perverted sexual behavior, including the hiring of prostitutes to engage in golden showers in the presidential suite of a hotel in Moscow. Mr. Trump said the dossier continued to cause me significant damage and distress because people still believed it. He added that he had not had time to sue in the UK before 2023 because he had been busy being president. Anthony White KC, for Orbis, told the court in October that Mr. Trump had accepted that the company was not responsible for BuzzFeed's publication of the document. Orbis also argued that the former president's case was an attempt to address long-standing grievances. A spokesman for Mr. Trump, Stephen Chung, said that Mr. Trump will continue to fight for the truth and against falsehoods such as the ones promulgated by Steele and his cohorts. The High Court in London has found that there was not even an attempt by Christopher Steele, or his group, to justify or try to prove, which they absolutely cannot, their false and defamatory allegations in the fake dossier, Mr. Chung said in a statement. A U.S. Department of Justice report found in 2019 that the FBI had raised doubts about the reliability of some of Steele's reports. Federal investigators also assessed the possibility that Russia was funneling disinformation to Steele, said the Inspector General. An inquiry by special counsel Robert Mueller did not establish a criminal conspiracy between Mr. Trump's campaign and Russian agents to sway the 2016 election in his favor. But it laid out 10 instances where Mr. Trump had possibly obstructed justice during the investigation.